How do you feel about it? Because you're working now with an iconic series. It's from the 90s. Now in 2023, it's so different.
Yeah.
You need to think like old versus now. I don't know. How do you feel about it?
It was exciting. I had knew Joe's work before from comics myself, and I knew his work actually from animation as well. So that was exciting just to be able to work with him. And he gave us such a great script. And like I said, I became a fan of the show just doing my research for it. So by the time I was working on the show, I felt like it was. I felt blessed. I felt like I had an opportunity to work on something that I really enjoyed, which is like like I get to do that a lot, but that was really special to have that this time.
What is one of the biggest challenges you face as a director on projects like this?
One of I guess the biggest thing is like there was a little bit of we were nervous that we wanted to be honest to the show as we could. We also didn't want to become trapped. We didn't want to have that thing where we were kind of just going through the motions and trying to redo a television show. We wanted to tell our story. We wanted to tell that script. And as we started working on it, we really began to really get into it. It was actually really exciting. I was mentioning before that there's a scene in the movie where there's like a bunch of screens, a bunch of images on screen showing different alternate realities and things. And I needed a bunch of reference to put that in, so I immediately pulled reference from the original series. So we actually animated scenes from the original series and put into this movie. So that was a challenge because that meant I had to actually come up with an entire extra act to put in this movie, which normally we do 3 acts. I had to do 4.
The Voyager show, is it truly? Because I'm one of the old guys that actually lost in space, example. They never got home. They never got to Alpha Centauri. Actually, one time they got back to Earth, but it was not the right time, so they had to leave again. So is this actually the real Voyager show?
The real, I'm sorry?
Going back home from Babylon 5. The whole thing is they're really going to end up where they were supposed to go because it's a colonization project. That was the Babylon 5 from the beginning. So they finally get to the point where you say like, okay, here's closure.
Yeah, well, it felt like I will admit that when I got to the end of the 5th season, it felt like the show had wrapped, and I was kind of really curious to see where Joe was going to go. And he found more magic to kind of pull out for this movie. And the other thing that made it really great was that, and I've heard this from other people who had seen the movie, is that they had not seen the show. So they were able to watch this movie and become interested in Babylon 5 just from this, which is great because it's like then you got a whole new way to introduce fans to the series and everything. So I feel like we succeeded on both ends. I feel like we were able to satisfy the fans, hopefully the fans will appreciate it, but we also can introduce new people to the show.
Now, is this a direct sequel to the series, or is it kind of an offshoot?
I would say it's a continuation of what the series had started. Yeah, and I think that it was something that Joe wanted to do a celebration for the show, and I think that was ultimately what we aimed to do, and I think we did a pretty good job.
Now, I know what characters from the original show and cast members were you guys able to bring back, or is it kind of mainly new characters brought into this one?
We brought the original cast back. In fact, while I was doing my research for the show, apparently this is a normal thing that happens to every Babylon fan who starts watching the show later like me. You start watching the show and then you can't stop but want to go look up things online. So you start like falling down rabbit holes, like finding out all these different fan sites and stuff. So that happened to me. And obviously then I found out how a lot of the cast had passed on. So that was something that was heartbreaking to hear. But I know that Joe he was in touch with the cast, the remaining cast, and that was something important. He wanted to make sure that they were okay with the idea that we were working with different, actors and things. And but we were able to do that. We were able to kind of bring those performances back with new actors. And they kind of actually, I really love that because it feels like that while they're gone as people, it's like their characters and their spirit still lives on.
So when did you first meet Joe? I mean, had you watched the entire series first, and then you met Joe, or did you meet him before you watched the series?
I knew of Joe. I had been a fan of his work in comics, and I had not met him actually until we started doing records. And when we had records, this was during COVID when we were working on it, so it was all Zoom calls and things like that. So he came up on the screen. He's an unbelievably like casual and fun person to talk to. I was nervous because I wanted to tell him how much I love his work and obviously how much of a fan of the show I was. And after spending just a little bit of time talking to him, it just feels like a total casual friend.
Are there any connections between the new storyline and the old storyline that might help fill in some like threads of like stuff that might not have been answered in the original series?
Joe would probably be a better person to ask that. I know that there were things that he wanted to really address. He did give us some notes about some things to, address the series as a whole, because he knew that there were items that fans were interested in. But for life, what they were. Like I said, the biggest thing was doing that final act D that I was telling you about. What we did, we made images of different images from the show. I needed it for just a visual thing, and so I had to scrub through episodes and find things that I thought would look good, but also be easy to animate. And I had to turn around and get my crew to storyboard that in like a short period of time. Yeah. I'm hoping someday that somebody, when they watch this, is going to be a Babylon 5 fan. Is going to watch this and then sequence of the film, and they're going to break down which one is from which show and which scene. That's what I'm hoping for.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
One more question.
One more question, sir.
So, who's your favorite character? I have to ask the favorite question, right? Who's your favorite character?
I actually like Garibaldi. He was actually one of my favorites and stuff. But I also liked Captain Sheridan. So it was a lot of people were kind of like, he was like for only one season and stuff like that. But I really I grew to like him and stuff. So, or Sinclair, excuse me. Yeah.
But he had such a great arc though later on.
He did, yeah. A really good payoff. I mean, obviously that was my introduction.
Well, that's all
Thank
we get.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.